Quite often when I talk to HR executives, the topic comes up is have we earned, or what do we have to do to earn a seat at the table? My first reaction is, my little brother Ricky had a seat at our dining table, but no one listened to him. So to me, it's silly. A seat at the table is not the goal. It's influence. It's people listening to you. It's people acting on your ideas. And that can come without a seat at the table or with. But having a seat doesn't guarantee people listen to you. When you're being what I call the HR cop, in other words, you're saying we might get sued. Even though we're not a lawyer, we don't have a law degree, we don't know anything about the odds of being sued or winning, we call the lawyer or we say, oh, you might get sued. Well, if you have a seat at the table and that's what you're talking about, you're going to be turned off immediately. So people at this table, executives, are risk takers, but they analyze the risk, they know the number, they know the probability. They're people with titles in risk management. We can't be at the table and screaming silly stuff like we might get sued. At the table, you're going to find they only have business problems. We need more sales. We need more product development. And so if you're going to have a seat at the table, you need to learn to use their language. You need to learn to solve business problems. You want to be a business leader. You want to lead, be the first. So you can sit at the table and be, yeah, I agree, or you can stand up and say, this is the best way. So let's be business leaders, not business partners. The worst thing you could do when you get a seat at the table is become the generalist to the CEO. That's not your job. So if you get a seat at the table and you're really just a people management advisor on the problems of a CEO, you've made a mistake. Your job is to lead the function, to get everyone in HR to be as business-like and to produce the best results. Other things when you get a seat at the table, you have to use the language of business. So one of the things we find is that HR uses the term turnover. Let's say turnover rate is 20%. Okay, but that's not a business term. A term in business is millions of dollars. So if you convert your language, wow, we have 20% turnover, which costs us $100 million, you'll be listened to. The best example I know, this was a VP at Intel. She became the head of HR, and this executive team says, okay, what can we expect from you? What would be the output when you are the VP? And she said, that's simple. I'll raise the stock price to where it is now, up to 100. So that's a different mentality. Do you have the courage to say, no, I don't want to sit at the table. I'm not going to use HR lingo. I'm not going to use HR problems. I'm going to talk like a business person. I'm going to lead the conversation, and I'm going to say we could have more profit, we could have more stock price, we could have more things like this if we acted in a different way. And because the cost of people, of labor is about 60% of the variable cost, if you manage that effectively, you are going to have business results. So I don't care if you have a seat at the table. It's do they listen to you? Does your advice work? And that's what matters. You need to be a leader. You need to be first. You need to be bold. You need to be have courage.